to June, the FSR found that banking assets rose by 10.2% compared to the same time last year. The bulk of bank assets are represented by loans and advances. Bank profitability was also up 16.34% for the same period, and the bank says the banking sector continued to exceed prescribed capital adequacy levels. The regulatory level stipulated is 10%, but the sector has reserves sitting in excess of 14%.
Moody's recently revised the outlook for the South African banking system to stable from negative on the 8th of October, and they mentioned three factors. First of all, that the sector is well positioned to withstand challenges such as asset quality deterioration and the weak South African economy. Secondly, that they have contained exposure to less profitable home loans, and they've reduced their exposure to those sectors vulnerable to rising interest rates. And thirdly, that banks are still able to raise funding in the form of both deposits and from capital markets.
The bank noted that households remained highly indebted, with the average debt-to-income ratio above 77%. And with the economy growing at tepid rates and unemployment ever rising, the bank says the household debt situation could potentially pose a threat to the financial system.
Then impairments in banks are going to begin to rise. That is the channel through which the financial system will be impacted. Do we think the financial system in South Africa is resilient enough to be able to absorb this? Definitely. It's not. Banks plan for a cycle, and these things come and go all the time.
The bank reflected on the global financial market volatility caused by the long wait for the US Fed to raise rates, and pointed out that emerging markets like South Africa had borne the brunt of the uncertainty. This in the form of the sell-off in financial assets and the consequent depreciation in currency. It reiterated that it would conduct domestic monetary policy based on the data factors before it, and not necessarily because of a move made by the US Fed. Nompumelelo Siziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.
A new World Bank report